MLB has opened up voting for the All-Star Game, as the All-Star Game is about a month away now, and I wanted to take this point to check in to see who actually deserves to get some votes here, because obviously we know every team is going to make their post, all 9 offensive players they have on their roster saying, vote Rockies, vote Cardinals. How many of those players really deserve to get some votes? Yeah, I'm looking at you, Royals fans, even though I know the Royals fans are not going to be doing that this year, because I don't think there's any Royals fan on earth right now that's going to be voting for Jonathan India. I'm not going to look at who's the best, who really deserves to be the starters. For me, as a Cardinals fan, what Cardinals could I justify voting for? I'm going to put myself in the shoes of every fan base as I look through these players. Just try to see who's actually playing well enough to be in this conversation right now, and if they're one of your favorite players or they're on your favorite team, then they're a guy that you can have a solid argument voting for. That's kind of my thought process behind this, because we're still a month out, and a lot of the guys who are going to be in this conversation a month later might actually be the best guy at their position too. Starting with the National League first baseman, we're starting here on top of what they have on the website as they list them in order there. So Pete Alonso is first. I guess they're going alphabetically. Pete Alonso definitely deserves to be getting some votes right now. He's second among first basemen when it comes to WAR. He's a 158 WRC plus. He's got lots of home runs, lots of RBIs, really killing it as he always does. Definitely deserves his respect there. Michael Busch of the Chicago Cubs also in this conversation. I think he's fourth among WAR for first baseman in the National League. 156 WRC plus. So he's really doing it with the bat, which is what I care about. And I think he's getting hurt when it comes to like WAR because of the defense. But I don't really care about defense when I'm voting for an All-Star game, so Michael Busch deserves some flowers there as well. Freddie Freeman's the next guy up. Obviously, killing it right now. He's definitely the best first baseman in the league, and nobody's particularly close to him at the moment. I mean, his numbers are just out of this world, so if you're just going off best player, this is the guy you got to give it to at this point. Harper isn't really living up to his normal Harper standards, but he's still well above average, 136 WRC plus, not playing terrible. Really, Rhys Hoskins is playing at about the same level as Bryce Harper. Josh Naylor is about the same level of play right now. Matt Olson, same level, although Matt Olson's going to give you some good defense. Again, don't know how much I care about that for a first baseman in the All-Star game, but that does help out Matt Olson's value a little bit more. And then we got Michael Toglia, who got sent to the minor leagues. And I bring him up because last year I voted every single day Martin Maldonado to be the starting catcher for the American League. He was just so bad for the Chicago White Sox, and the White Sox were so bad. And I think it would be cool to do that again this year for the Rockies, because the Rockies are so bad. I think Michael Toglia would be the guy to do that. How funny would it be if a guy in the minor leagues made the All-Star game? Which is crazy, because I had high hopes for Michael Toglia coming into the season as well. But if you want to get some joke votes in, Michael Toglia is probably your guy there for the Rockies. The names we mentioned beforehand are the guys, but really Pete Alonso, Michael Busch, Freddie Freeman are the 3 guys who are really a step above everybody else, and there's a couple guys a step below that if you're really opposed to voting for those 3, I guess. Over on the American League side of things, you gotta start out with Jonathan Aranda, who's really killing it for the Tampa Bay Rays. He's hitting over 300, and he has the highest WAR among all the guys that are listed here. So he's got that going for him by WAR. He's the best player. Then you got Paul Goldschmidt. He's not far behind Aranda when it comes to WAR. His bat is a good step down. So Aranda has a 167 WRC plus, Goldie with like a 140 something. Still hitting really well. Both of these guys hitting well above 300. Vladdy is also in this conversation. 136 WRC plus compared to Goldie's 143. Relatively within the same ballpark, just worse defense. If there are Cleveland Guardians fans out there, Carlos Santana. Now, he's not doing it with the bat. Really not that exciting on that end of things. But that defense is really boosting his value. So when you look at like WAR and stuff, he's really 5th among all the American League first basemen. So he's not too far behind there. Then we got Spencer Torkelson, who's absolutely killing it for the Detroit Tigers. And this is another guy who I would put with probably Goldie and Randa to be like the top tier of first baseman at this point. As regarding WAR, they go 1.7, 1.6, 1.5. Randa's got the best bat, but WRC pluses go 167, 143 to Goldie, and then 137 to Torkelson. Torkelson also a massive amount of RBIs, jumping the other 2 on that. 14 home runs, way more home runs than the other 2 guys. So if you like the power, you like the RBIs, really like the Tigers or are opposed to the Yankees or something, Torkelson's probably your guy there. Moving over to second base and the National League. And we're going to start this out with Brendan Donovan of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's hitting over 300. He has the highest WAR among all second basemen. Not a lot of power, but that WRC plus is 155, which is absolutely way up there. You also have Tommy Edman for the Dodger fans out there. He has a 130 WRC plus, so not quite as high as Brendan Donovan. His WAR is a good jump behind, but again, I mean, he's still a well above average hitter who plays really good defense. So that really goes for both of these guys. At this point, though, Donovan's just done it better so far. Nico Hoerner can get some love from the Cubs fans out there or just people who really love defense. He's really not doing it with the bat all that much, a league average hitter at this point. But he has the second highest WAR among second basemen, and it's really all due to his defense. And he also steals a lot of bases, so if you want some speed in the All-Star game, that's your guy. Now, Ketel Marte is third in WAR among second basemen. And really, this is due to him missing a lot of time. He's only played 28 games. He's already caught up to pretty much everybody else. At his rate of play, he's going to pass Nico Hoerner and Donovan pretty shortly. If you wanted to vote for the best player at second base, is obviously going to be Ketel Marte, even though Donovan has done more so far this year. Also, if you like speed and defense and you don't want to vote for a Cub, then Bryce Terang's probably your guy because he's basically Nico Hoerner 2.0, just a little bit behind him in most things right now. Defense hasn't been quite as good. Bat just the slightest bit worse. Still just as many steals. Very similar players, but Terang really obviously a good player as well. Second base for the American League has been rather weak. So there's three guys I wouldn't mind seeing in the All-Star game or getting votes or at least playing a good bit because they're just exciting and fun players and their value hasn't been terrible. You got Jazz Chisholm, who's like 10th or 11th among second basemen in WAR. He's missed some time. He's hitting 190, which isn't great at all. But he's exciting. He's going to hit home runs. He's going to steal bases. That'll be fun to see. Jackson Holliday kind of in the same boat. Not up there on the WAR charts. 111 WRC+, which means he's better with the bat. And Lau kind of in the same boat. I wouldn't mind seeing votes for those guys. If you want to talk about the two best second basemen in the American League, it's Gleyber Torres and it's Daniel Schneemann. I assume a lot of people out there haven't even heard of Daniel Schneemann of the Cleveland Guardians, but he's obviously, really, honestly, he might be the best second baseman in the American League right now. So Gleyber's tearing it up with the bat, and it's just been really big for the best team in the American League, the Detroit Tigers. Schneemann, though, on the other hand, 140 WRC+, and playing some pretty good defense, too. Top 10 in WAR at second base right now is pretty much entirely National League, except for these two guys, and one other exception who's not on second base when it comes to the voting. But Schneemann's been absolutely killing it. They're both hitting really well. Schneemann's going to play good defense, too. Honestly, with as thin of a field as it is, again, Lau, Holliday, Chisholm, those types of guys, they're fine, too. On to third base for the National League. Let's start off with Matt Chapman. Again, we're just going down through these alphabetically, I guess. He's already got 10 home runs. He's 125 WRC+. He's really good at hitting, but obviously his defense is going to be insane all the time. Manny Machado, he has a 157 WRC+, so he's really killing it with the bat right now. His defense isn't exactly what it used to be, but he's just hitting so well. If you want the better offense, if you want the guy who's going to get more run production, less home runs, but just overall the better bat, that's Manny Machado over Matt Chapman right now. Another option is Austin Riley, and I know Austin Riley hasn't played particularly great by his standards, 116 WRC+, but he's actually playing some good defense, 1.4 WAR, third highest among National League third basemen. 10 home runs already, over 30 runs, 30 RBIs, so he's solid there. But if you want home runs and you want run production, then Eugenio Suarez has to be your guy. He's fourth among WAR, but 16 home runs already, 44 RBIs. I mean, if you just want the pure electricity and the excitement, Eugenio Suarez, well, that's where you're going there. Over at third base for the American League side, Alex Bregman, 161 WRC+ there. He's playing good defense as always. This is a superstar guy. He's just doing what he always does. Addison Barger of the Toronto Blue Jays is also playing pretty well, so he deserves some respect. He deserves to be in this conversation too, actually. But Michael Garcia is absolutely killing it in Kansas City. One of the two guys in Kansas City killing it on offense, so I really understand if Royals fans want to vote for him. 313 batting average, playing good defense, third in WAR among the American League guys, really a fundamental piece for the Kansas City Royals. Isaac Paredes is actually doing incredible down in Houston right now. He's got 12 home runs, 132 WRC+. He is fourth in WAR among the American League third basemen, and he's really coming in the clutch and getting big hits for his team with really good timing, really good with runners in scoring position, I think. Then, of course, you got Jose Ramirez, best third baseman in all of baseball by WAR right now. 10 home runs already, 15 stolen bases as well, playing good defense, doing what he always does, 167 WRC+, which is the highest among qualified hitters for third baseman. I mean, what's there not to like about Jose Ramirez? He's also hitting 330 right now, which is insane. Now let's go over to shortstops for the National League. Starting with the Nationals, CJ Abrams, he's probably down here a little bit when it comes to looking like WAR and stuff, but a 131 WRC+, is just the defense kind of holds him back. Do we really care about that in an all-star game? I'll leave that up to you guys, but for Nationals fans, he's killing it with the bat. Now, of course, there's going to be the cries for the stars. Mookie Betts is going to get his votes. Ellie De La Cruz is going to get his votes. I just don't know. I mean, they're the, what, 6th and 7th best shortstops among WAR? With a 113 and a 112 WRC plus, there's so many guys hitting way better than them. I don't know. They're not producing the most. Mookie only 8 home runs. He's getting a lot of run production, but I mean, is that just because of the Dodgers? Ellie, he's going to bring you more home runs, more stolen bases if you like the excitement, but just the overall production's not that much above a league average hitter, and there's so many guys in the National League that are absolutely killing it right now. Starting with Francisco Lindor, who's been the best in the NL. 139 WRC plus, so a big jump there. 14 home runs and 11 stolen bases, so he's getting more home runs. But then you got Geraldo Perdomo, who is by WAR the second best shortstop in the National League, a 122 WRC plus, and that may be a big step down from the exciting offense that we see elsewhere. But keep in mind, WRC plus and his OPS are better than Ellie De La Cruz and better than Mookie Betts, and then he's playing some really good defense behind that as well. Then you got Trey Turner. Been the 4th best in the National League so far, 128, so basically the same as Perdomo offensively, but a little bit worse than him defensively, and that's why Perdomo has been the better shortstop so far this year. Now, after an incredibly cold start to the year, Mason Wynn has brought himself back up here. Mason Wynn has a higher WAR than Mookie Betts and Ellie De La Cruz. Not going to get you the excitement though, not as many home runs, not the stolen bases, but a 126 WRC plus now after a cold start to the year, and of course, great defense. But let's go over to the American League now. We have J.P. Crawford of the Seattle Mariners, one of their good, bright, shining pieces on offense, honestly. 138 WRC plus, not playing good defense though, holding him back, but a 1.7 WAR, pretty solid for J.P. Crawford. Now, the Houston Astros have the joy of having one of the best shortstops in all of baseball this season, tied for WAR lead. That is Jeremy Pena. Pretty good production with both the power and the speed. Of course, he plays great defense. 144 WRC plus is one of the best hitting shortstops so far this year as well. But the guy he's tied with for the WAR lead is Jacob Wilson. Jacob Wilson also has a 2.8 WAR, also playing some pretty solid defense. Actually has better offense, 156 WRC plus, less power, less speed, but obviously the batting average is through the roof. 355 average right now, killing it. Rookie of the year lead right there. So if you like the young guy, you like the contact, the batting average, and not going complete Luis Ariz mode and losing all power and speed, Jacob Wilson's your guy. Again, tied for the lead in WAR for shortstops and the best offensive shortstop so far this year. Pena's making up for it a little bit more with the defense. But then, obviously, the last option is Bobby Witt Jr. Essentially the same as Pena and Jacob Wilson. 20 stolen bases already for Bobby Witt, playing amazing defense. And the bat's kind of coming around and heating up at this point in the season. Not really to his normal extent, a 124 WRC plus. That's a little bit behind what we normally see from him offensively, but he's heating up. For the catchers, starting over in the National League, we will start this list off with Patrick Bailey. And Patrick Bailey really isn't near the lead when it comes to like WAR or anything, but like he is special defensively, and we got to give him a shout out for that. And if you really want to see the best defensive catcher get some respect, Patrick Bailey is going to get your votes then. But, I mean, the offense has been absolutely atrocious. Now, Carson Kelly for the Chicago Cubs has absolutely been killing it. Gabriel Moreno, though, of the Diamondbacks has been a little bit better so far. 2 WAR already posted on the year. That's second highest among the National League guys. He's also playing some really great defense, and he's playing good offense. So if you want to vote for a guy who's really good at defense and not completely garbage at offense like Patrick Bailey, Gabriel Moreno's your guy who's really good at both sides of the ball. Then we have the best catcher by WAR in the National League, and that is Will Smith. Really doing it with the offense, a 162 WRC plus. Defense is neutral, not the most power. He's got a 316 average, a 430 on base percentage. Let's go over and look at the American League catchers now. With Dylan Dingler of the Detroit Tigers, 124 WRC plus, 2.0 WAR. That makes him the 3rd highest among American League catchers. Solid offense, really good defense, really good option to vote for there. Alejandro Kirk isn't far behind him. Alejandro Kirk basically league average with offense, really killing it with the defense though. 1.7 WAR for him. Carlos Narvaez of the Boston Red Sox, right there with Jacob Wilson in the Rookie of the Year running. 136 WRC plus, plays great defense. Great guy to vote for. But by far the best catcher in all of baseball is Cal Raleigh, and that's really not even questionable at this point. 23 home runs now. 221 WRC plus when catching, 4.3 WAR behind the plate. I mean, he is by far the best catcher. Obviously, if you're a fan of the Red Sox, Carlos Narvaez, that's fine. If you're a Detroit Tigers fan, Dylan Dingler, that's fine. Alejandro Kirk, that's fine. But you gotta admit, what Cal Raleigh is doing is in a league of his own as far as being the best overall catcher in baseball. But now let's move over to the outfield. Starting with Ronald Acuna Jr., this is a guy we're going to move through quick because he's another guy killing it, but obviously just got back and has a long way to go before we get to the All-Star break. But he's come back and he's looking absolutely amazing. Then we have Corbin Carroll of the Arizona Diamondbacks. 18 home runs already for him. Number 2 in WAR for the National League outfielders, a 3.0 for him. PCA is obviously going to be in here. He is leading outfielders in WAR for the National League side of things. 15 home runs, 21 stolen bases, which is absolutely crazy at this point. He's already got over 50 RBIs too, 143 WRC+. The WRC+ is just the slightest bit behind Carroll's, but obviously PCA plays a much more important defensive position, and he's incredible at defense. So PCA, Corbin Carroll, hard to argue with those two not being in here at all. Then we got Oneil Cruz is the next guy we're going to look at. He is 8th in WAR for the National League outfielders. 12 home runs, 20 stolen bases already. The defense hurts him a little bit, but the 124 WRC+ proves that he's one of the better hitters, and you're getting the excitement of the home runs and the stolen bases with him. Now, TJ Friedl is a surprising one. He's actually 7th in the WAR race right now. He also has a 124 WRC+, just like Cruz does. Obviously not the same level of power and stolen bases, but a 304 average for him, much more consistent. Andy Pages has actually bounced back a lot for the Dodgers after a pretty disastrous year last year. He's already got double-digit home runs. He's another guy in that 120 range with the WRC+, 2.1 WAR. And really, Pages, Friedl, and Oneil Cruz are just so similar right now. Pages has the advantage with defense. Cruz has more excitement. Friedl has the batting average. Just take your pick as to which of those things you like if you're trying to pick between those three. But then we have Heliot Ramos also kind of in that same range. Much better offensively, much worse defensively. Heliot Ramos has a 139 WRC+, so a big step up from the Cruz, Friedl, and Pages discussion, but a negative 6.1 defensive value. Again, how much do we care about that in the All-Star game, though? Already double-digit home runs for him. Also, for the Marlins fans out there really having nightmares about their offense, Kyle Stowers is here to save the day. He has a 131 WRC+, not pulling it with his defense, but 10 home runs for him. Good offensive production. Fernando Tatis Jr. is among the top WAR getters for the outfielders, playing good defense. 130 WRC+ for him. 13 home runs, 11 stolen bases. Kyle Tucker, one of the best outfielders in the game, right behind Tatis in WAR. They're 2.6, 2.5 guys. 55 WRC+, so Tucker has a better bat than Tatis. Obviously, Tatis is playing better defense. Tucker has 12 home runs to Tatis' 13 home runs, and Tucker has 16 stolen bases to Tatis' 11 stolen bases. With the National League outfield, the guy who's number 3 in WAR is James Wood. James Wood already has 16 home runs. He has 9 stolen bases. He's not playing perfect defense, but the offense is killing it. 162 WRC+, which is the highest among all qualified outfielders. So if you want the bat, James Wood is your guy. Better than PCA, better than Corbin Carroll, better than Tatis, better than Kyle Tucker. Really better than everybody else with the bat. Obviously, the elite group, the top 3, PCA, Corbin Carroll, James Wood. Tatis, Kyle Tucker aren't far behind. The interesting guys, if you have a favorite, if you want to go with Pages, Friedl, Oneil Cruz, Heliot Ramos, or like a Kyle Stowers, that's fun too. Go for it with those guys. On the American League side of things, we can start it off with Lawrence Butler. He has a 1.7 WAR. The defense is holding him back a little bit, but the bat is great. A 127 WRC+, 9 home runs, 9 stolen bases, so it's good power, good speed. Byron Buxton, though, is number 2 when it comes to WAR. 128 WRC+, but playing better defense, 2.1 WAR. Riley Green is at that bottom of the group of 10 guys. He's got a 135 WRC+, so he's better hitting than some guys above him, and that's why I included him in here. He's got 13 home runs already, good run production as well, so that makes him a very interesting name if you want a guy with a little bit more offense than some of the other guys who are defensive specialists. Obviously, Aaron Judge is the best of the whole group, a 5.1 WAR, which is an immediate step down to number 2, Byron Buxton with a 2.1. I don't think there's much discussion really needed here. Obviously, Judge is incredible with over 50 runs and 50 RBIs already, 21 home runs, 241 WRC+ is just, it's crazy. Stephen Kwan is killing it too, as he's actually had a decent power boost, 5 home runs already for him, and he's a batting average guy, hitting over 300. 131 WRC+ with his good defense. He's definitely one of the top outfielders in the game right now. Julio Rodriguez is 4th when it comes to WAR, and obviously Julio is an electric and fun player to watch. So I definitely understand if you want to get him in the All-Star game. 113 WRC+, so well below what we expect from him offensively, and really not great offensive numbers overall, but slightly above average. Played with his amazing defense. But then there's Mike Trout, and Mike Trout does not have it when it comes to WAR or anything like that. But 10 home runs already, and already missing a lot of time, obviously only playing 34 games so far. It would obviously be awesome to see him in another All-Star game. But that's about all I have for the American League outfielders. Did I miss Zach McKinstry? Or is he listed as a DH? He should be on here. Write in Zach McKinstry if you want, because he's not listed on the actual picture list that they have on the MLB. But he's one of the highest when it comes to WAR. He's got a 121 WRC+. Now, for DHs starting over in the National League, last category here, we're going to start off with Ivan Herrera of the St. Louis Cardinals. He's missed a decent amount of time, but he technically is a catcher. Really should be over on that list. 326 average, though, for him. 969 OPS. Now, obviously, Ohtani is the DH. All eyes are on. 23 home runs, 180 WRC+, killing it. Over 60 runs scored already. RBIs are a little lacking, but he's got over 10 stolen bases. 3.2 WAR. He is a good jump above everybody else, really. Kyle Schwarber is killing it too, though he's already caught up to 19 home runs. He's got more RBIs than Ohtani. A 165 WRC+ for him. Marcell Ozuna has the 151 WRC+ and 10 home runs on his book already. Seiya Suzuki killing it for the Cubs. Trying to put his name into that elite DH category. 14 home runs for him, 50 RBIs, 141 WRC+. On the American League side of things, off-field, Devers 153 WRC+, really kicked it into gear after the slow start to the year. Over 12 home runs already, and over 50 RBIs. The best DH by value in the American League is Ryan O'Hearn, a 177 WRC+, which is a massive boost above everybody else on this list. Absolutely been killing it and carrying the Baltimore Orioles offense. So, if you really want the best hitter so far, that would be him. But Ben Rice has been killing it too over in New York for the Yankees, a 141 WRC+. A little lower on the run production side because he's starting to miss some games. Obviously doesn't have an everyday playing spot. Brent Rooker has more value, lower WRC+, 131 for him, 13 home runs. And so those are really your options over in the American League. O'Hearn's the best, Devers is the star, Brent Rooker's still doing his thing just like last year, and Ben Rice is the up-and-comer. So that's it. That's a lot of players that we've talked about here. Make of that what you will. Obviously, a lot can change in a month as far as guys heating up, cooling down. But as I see it right now, those are the guys that I want to give attention to as guys who I really want to see in the All-Star game. Guys that are playing well and seem to deserve it so far. I don't know. There's lots of different ways to vote. But for me personally, I just like making this list. So I have a group of guys that I know. I'm not going to vote for anybody outside of that list just because of what these guys have done to deserve it so far. That's just me personally.